When we had last left the Envoy, they found some Aedyran explorers who were separated from the rest of their group and who heard of a great Aethasian temple down beneath Dawnshore. And it was there that they delved inside and met with some of that expedition group who had run afoul of some of the dubious traps and weird junk that lay within. Now it was time to proceed to one of their more, in charge of everything members, who was maybe being a little weird lately. This is Avowed. Welcome back. Let's see. Zoop. There we go. And let me unhide that. Good. Alright. Let's head on down here. Now there's some Zarups afoot.
Glad we could give him a hand.
He's gonna have a hard time getting out of here, but at least we gave him a fighting chance.
So, the kid said the expedition team went deeper, looking for the Oracle.
I imagine the Oracle has something to do with that creepy statue we saw before. Maybe we should take a look.
Are these explosive? No. History of the Living Lands 1 Origin. Can add that to our journal and read later. Got a treasure here. I'll take all that. Good. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm really seeing the benefits of wielding melee over a pistol. Right? Because you can just apply your stun more frequently. And it's got that carve effect. Okay. Well, let's head over here to these Zarups. Can I get one from stealth? Seems that way. There we go. One and done. 2 XP for that. Got a tongue. Common spear. Okay. Definitely hear some chiming. Uh-oh. Zarup up top. Oh, okay. Easy enough. Let's run for these goodies here.
That's over.
Common round shield, copper. Oh, binding copper. I remember that. Okay, I guess we ought to try and break some stuff down. Let's get rid of these wands. Spears, I'm not really into. We don't really need different shields, do we? Don't think so. Oh, whoops. There we go. This was the shock pistol. Okay. I kind of wish that there was a way to mark items for dismantling and then just do it all at once, you know? Okay, great. Let's do a quick save here. Jump back over. Oh, what have we got here? An Inquisitor's request. We should read this now. Captain Jeddah, the relic you seek is but one of the many thorns in the rotten heart of this land. Claim it for Aedyr, and should its efficacy be confirmed, you'll be appropriately rewarded. Inquisitor Ludwig.
If Ludwig's after this relic, we might be on the right track.
Okay. Over here.
I see someone. Be ready for anything.
Oh yeah, this looks like... Are we to fight here? Holy shit.
My brother.
Oh.
Can it be? Come, stand in the light. Let me look at you.
Hello?
It has been too long. I had feared I was the last of us, but you... Oh, the very sight of you is a balm for the soul. I am the Oracle Sargamis, servant of the once shining god, he whose light has lately dimmed. What brings you to this sacred space?
You named yourself after one of the early figures in Aethasian scripture? Arcane Scholar. I'm looking for an expedition of my countrymen. Did they pass this way? I heard there was a temple of Aethys in this cave. Did you build this statue? You really are a godlike. I should go. You named yourself after one of the early figures in Aethasian scripture?
Then Sargamis spoke, and his voice swept forth with the heat and force of the bright day's sun. Weep not, for the child of light has forgiveness even for you, if you will embrace him. I am that same Sargamis. Though it has been some time since a man has knelt before me and begged absolution, as Hamka did. The people do not hold to the gods any longer, and they do not hold to their servants. We live in
I'm not
a time
familiar with
of
Sargamis.
disbelief. The gods are absent, and have recalled their gifts from the world. Avarice reigns. Acquisition is the faith to which all men bow. But perhaps there is hope. You have read the Book of Verses, and we are here together, if only briefly. In this moment, we are not entirely alone.
I'm looking for an expedition of my countrymen. Did they pass this way? I heard there was a temple of Aethys in this cave. Did you really build this statue? You're really a godlike? I should go. I'm looking for an expedition of my countrymen. Did they pass this way?
An expedition? I'm afraid I don't understand.
What?
Right. Maps, ropes, pitons, rugged boots, water for days, people down here looking for stuff.
I am familiar with the concept, tomb raiding and the like. What troubles me is why they would come here. These ruins are not so different from the many others on this island, except that they are a good deal more treacherous. And this representation of Aethys we stand before, it is the work of my own hands. They could not hope to move it. Do you know what their purpose is here?
Oh, Perception 02. They were searching for a relic you're rumored to keep here. Lie. I have no idea. I have no reason to lie. If we want the relic, we will simply take it.
Ah, the splinter of Aethys. I suppose it was too much to hope they were here to examine these exquisite ruins. Truly, it is their loss.
The splinter? Is it like a shard from the statue of Adnua? What is this relic exactly? Where do you keep the relic? I might find them there. What is the relic exactly?
The splinter of Aethys is a sliver of shin bone from my lord's titan body. It was carved from his skeleton many centuries ago.
Oh, his titan
Yet
body.
long after the gods left this mortal world to claim their dominion in the beyond.
Not the
The
statue.
splinter is infused with the very essence of my lord's power. To illuminate without fire, to heal without injury, and to speak without voice.
Yeah, this is really... It's mostly delved into in Pillars of Eternity, the White March Part 1 and 2. But at a certain point in time, early on, the Pantheon of Gods all had, like, bodies. Like, they all physically existed in some form, rather than, like, you know, speaking through a conduit, you know, such as the case of Saint Widwin, or the Audra statue of Adnua in Pillars 2. But they had, like, I don't know, they were referred to as Titans. And you kind of find, like, their remains in some places. I think it was also... Wasn't it in the God, what was the name of it? I really enjoyed it. The final expansion, final DLC for Pillars 2. The one all about Wall, the like forgotten library or whatever it's called. I can't remember. I think they also delved into a bit of it. But for the most part, it's kind of, it still remains to be like a bit of a large mystery as to like what the hell exactly happened there, how that all went down. Especially given what we know of the point of origin for the various Eoran pantheon. Where do you keep the relic? I might find them there.
It rests in a shrine deep within this temple complex, beyond the reach of looters, visitors, or indeed myself. The path to the relic has fallen to ruin. Some sections are flooded, and others are infested with all manner of creatures. Although, perhaps you might assist me with that.
Right, here it comes.
You see, this construction beside us is no mere statue, but a reliquary I have built to house the splinter of Aethys in its appropriate grandeur. It is nearly complete, and ready for the splinter to be interred. But I can no longer reach the relic on my own. Return it to me, and who knows, perhaps you will meet your expedition along the way.
Are you threatening them? You know what? There's a way in which I could read that as if, yeah, perhaps you will meet them along the way. You know, do a favor for me, and maybe you'll run into them, right? I'll return shortly. I'll be back before you can say 10 praise Aethyses. I'm gonna poke around here first.
Take all the time you need.
Yeah, I'm not gonna help you.
Oh, and please refrain from touching my statue or devices.
We gotta
May
touch the
light
statue and all the
illuminate your
devices.
path, brother.
Yeah, this shard of Aethys doesn't belong to you now. You were spot on with the tomb raiding bit. We're here. It belongs in a museum, one of ours. Frankly, it belongs to the Aedyran Empire now. Yeah, look at this big old pillar of Adra. Okay, I can actually climb up there. Sure. Sparking a bit. Letter to Sargamis. Sargamis, it has been some time since your last correspondence, and I do hope that you are still well. Have the materials and spare equipment from my lab proven reliable? You know how temperamental and finicky old equipment gets. I swear, these machines have souls of their own. But I digress. I look forward to hearing the latest news about your progress. I've no doubt that the completion of your project will change the world. And knowing you, it will certainly be for the better. That I have had a part to play in this fills me with a deep joy and satisfaction. Perhaps one day they shall write about us. I can see it now. The Oracle and the Visionary. A titillating tale of two thinkers and their thoroughly thought-provoking theories. On second thought, perhaps simply the Oracle and the Visionary will suffice. Eagerly awaiting your response. Your friend, Vitor. P.S. It is good that I forgot to send this after it dried. Ulrask would be very cross with me if I did not relay once more that he is, and I quote, rather looking forward to giving Sargamis's oversized animat a proper thrashing if he ever gets it functional. Oh, that Ulrask. Until next time, my friend. Would they actually activate it? I don't know. How would you fight something that big in a game like this? Right? At a certain point, how do you melee something like that? Right? Maybe if you have a ranged weapon. Sure. I'll switch here. I'm pushing it. Do not know what it did. Is there a switch over here too? Or like a lever? There's this valve. Maybe that houses the shard. Okay. Ooh, some secret back area treasure. Don't mind if I do. Good God, where am I going? Okay. Loops around. Let's see. Let's look up top here, I think. Looks like I can break that. Yep.
Leave those be. They protect my devices.
Oh, I see. Got an elevator here. Oh, it goes straight to Dawnshore. Okay. Very well. I'm gonna shoot it. Let's activate it, huh?
Don't touch the generators.
Why not? Hey, why shouldn't I touch the generators?
I am glad to see you again.
To what do I owe the pleasure of your return, brother?
Did you really build this statue?
Indeed. It has been my obsession these last few years. Hewn by my own hands from stone in Ardra, and no small degree of melancholy.
Everybody needs a hobby.
I suspect it will be my last great labor before this body is returned to the earth, and I am returned to my god.
How old are you? Are you dying? Why a statue? Are you dying?
If I am, it is from an affliction that death will not cure.
Whoa, okay.
But no, brother. I am only very old.
So yes.
My light
in a
is
sense.
waning. As Aethys's essence leaves the world, I am leaving with him. His essence has kept me alive for centuries, and soon we will enter the longest night.
Oh. Okay. You mentioned you're very old? What a thing to say. You mentioned you're old as dirt?
Indeed, my soul has dwelled in this form for centuries, beyond even the lifespan of the longest-lived elf. My lord Aethys inspired my birth in the same year the kingdom of Aedyr was founded.
Oh my god.
You might say my birth heralded the empire you now serve.
Is it true? Like I said, I'm not that terribly familiar with Sargamis. But that was over 600 years ago. You must have witnessed some unbelievable things. I'd like to ask you something. That was over 600 years ago.
About 630, yes. Give or take a decade. One does lose count.
You must have witnessed some unbelievable things. So, why haven't you died yet? I'd like to ask you something. So why haven't you died yet?
That is a question for my lord. I have asked him many times, but even when he spoke to me, he would not say.
Yeah, he's like
I
that.
suspect it is his essence that has kept me alive. And now that he has abandoned this world, well, I soon expect to die.
Aethys talked to you?
In prayer, in dreams, as I ate and loved and labored, his voice was a constant murmuring in my ear.
Ugh.
But when I spoke to him, he never did reply. So, do not mistake his talking for a conversation. He only wanted to be heard.
Wow, sounds like there's some resentment there. Okay, are you afraid to die?
Not anymore.
You must have witnessed some unbelievable things.
Many, yes. Some that inspired awe, others dread. For a time, I proselytized among the colonists who first settled Glanfath. I held the door of my parish church against an onslaught of Glanfathan raiders. and I watched them fall prostrate before my light. I tended the wounded in the broken stone war, the war of black trees,
Wow.
the war of defiance, and in many wars that were never given the dignity of a name, and since have been forgotten. I can hardly recall them anymore.
You spent a long time in the Deerwood. What made you stay? Did you ever meet St. Widewin? I'd like to ask you something else. Yeah, a lot of those revolved around the Deerwood. Broken stone, black trees. What made you stay in the Deerwood so long?
The Deerwood has been a troubled place since the very moment of its inception. Conflicts erupted as regularly as spring flowers, to bloom and die as swiftly. So, there is always some dark corner in need of light, if you'll indulge me in the metaphor. Truthfully, I had been jailed for proselytizing in Colplin, and it was to the colonies I was exiled. So it was the Deerwood or death. I had nowhere else to go.
Did you ever meet St. Widewin?
Is that what they're calling him now?
How do you not
I heard the
know?
man that was Widewin speak when he was but a farmer. He had a presence even then, furious, incandescent. It was astonishing, his power. I wonder, had my lord already made a home in his body by then? Did my lord share with Widewin his plans to wage a pointless, bloody war while wearing the poor man's face? What a grave injustice, to have your body stolen and be made into a saint. Tragic Widewin. Pitiable Widewin. I grieve for what became of him.
Oh my god, yeah. I bet if my perception were high enough, I'd be able to tell that this guy actually fucking hates Aethys. Right? Although he is an Aethasian godlike, he fucking has come to hate Aethys. He pities Widewin because he sees Widewin as someone who is not unlike him, right? Wherein he has been utilized by this divine being, Aethys, in the sense that Widewin was. Well, not in the exact same sense, but, you know, he's a godlike. He's a Aethasian godlike in the same sense that Widewin was a saint of Aethys who, like, very literally took control of his body and probably overexerted his own will over Widewin's, right? And just, like, became him, so to speak. Thus the pity. Okay. I'd like to ask you something else.
Be my guest.
I heard there was a Temple of Aethys in this cave.
Be welcome, for you have found it. People like you and I once sought this place in moments of spiritual turmoil, when the world and our souls could not find rest. Moments of war, famine, massacres, when those such as us are called upon to speak the gods' wills and to lead. But I have seen not one of us these last 3 years, and it is rare indeed that pilgrims come to pray. Perhaps our meeting now is the work of immortal hands. I pray that it is so.
Ooh, another perception check. Other godlikes used to visit this temple? I doubt there are many people worshipping Aethys these days. Other godlikes used to visit this temple?
Godlike. Such a meager word for us, who are the gods' eyes and ears and hearts. We are the phenomena through which the gods experience the world.
Really?
We are as like the gods as a finger is like a man. You and I and our raptured brethren, we are the gods themselves.
That's all very poetic, but it doesn't answer the question. Is this place special to godlikes?
It had been once, when we were legion, but no longer. Our kind came here to find fellowship and understanding, in a world determined to bend us to its purposes.
Man, this shit is very fascinating and has... Some of what this dude is saying has some really wild lore implications, I feel. I've wondered what purpose the Emperor had in naming me his envoy. Why should we need fellowship? Shrug. Okay. I've wondered what purpose the Emperor had in naming me his envoy.
This is a heavy burden you carry, to be beloved of both a god and a god among men. I imagine one cannot help but wonder, did he elevate you for your skills and knowledge, your strengths, your accomplishments, or for what you are? You and I are instruments of a divine will. In choosing you to be his envoy, your emperor ennobles his purpose and tarnishes yours.
You think so? Okay. You're really a godlike.
I am as you are, though I do not care for the word. Aethys the Dawn Treader is my lord and patron. If you will forgive me saying so, I am surprised to meet you here. Even before the vanishing of our kind, it had been some years since a child of Galawain came to speak with me.
You think I'm of Galawain?
And I have never seen a member of the Lord of the Hunt's coterie whose visage resembles yours.
Yeah, I'd wondered why he hadn't brought it up yet. That's because I'm not a godlike of Galawain. Lie. Galawain godlikes from Aedyr look different. I think that is true, that godlikes from different parts of the world sometimes do look different, right? In particular, I think ones that are tied to, like, nature will sometimes look like one relevant to where they were born, I think. Don't quote me on this, I can't remember exactly. But there definitely is some level of, like, you know, if you're a godlike of such and such god, depending on the god and depending on where you're from, it can change your overall characteristics. Well, that's because I'm not a godlike of Galawain.
Ah, of course. I should not have assumed.
Yeah, I'm about to fucking blow your shit away here.
I have had the great privilege to speak with thousands of our kind during my long life.
Oh, do you think that he's...
And you do not resemble a single one of them.
Oh.
But if not Galawain, I cannot imagine who else among the Pantheon might have blessed you.
Truthfully, I don't know which god is my patron. Could it be Aethys? No shot. It doesn't matter to me either way. Truthfully, I don't know which god is my patron.
My relationship with my lord has oftentimes been the one succor through difficult seasons of my life.
I don't know about
I
that.
hope that when you find your patron, it is the same for you. May I ask, as a god's child, did your earthly parents love you?
Oh. They revered me. It was different from love. Ooh, I like that. I like that. I love the idea of our character coming from, like, a world of privilege in the Aedyran Empire, right? We got, like, a really good education. We were chosen to be the envoy to the Aedyran Emperor in this land, right? I like the idea that we kind of had the world handed to us on a silver platter, so to speak, that we're kind of spoiled. I believe they cared for me, in their way. They kept their distance. I think I frightened them. They were ashamed of me. They worried for me ceaselessly. I felt like a burden to them. Why? I'm not telling you that. They revered me. It was different from love.
It is difficult to be a child when you are expected to represent a god.
Man, this is some good shit here. Why did the gods vanish godlikes from the world? I've been hearing a voice in my head since I arrived on this island. Could it be my god? I should go. Why did the gods vanish godlikes from the world? I don't think this dude seems to know.
There are many theories, which the holy and learned of Eora have only just begun to argue. But you did not ask me for theories. Frankly, I do not know for certain. However, I believe the gods are preparing for war.
What? A war against Kith? A war against each other? Probably both. Yeah, probably both. Right? It's not against who you are, but it's against ideology. Some of the more kindly gods probably at odds with ones who... Right, it's about what to do with Kith and with the world and how to exert control. Right, that's probably it. Huh. God. This really sounds like it's alluding to a Pillars 3, don't you think? A war against each other.
A war of all against all. A struggle between destiny and design. Who yokes the soul of the world? Whose machinations turn the wheel? Who acts and whom is acted upon?
Oh fuck, that's pretty
is
good.
The ultimate power, brother. The only power there is to decide the fate of another and to make it so. For so long as we have lived, it is the gods who have decided for us.
Yo!
But change is possible, if we are brave enough to want it.
Yo!
And Kith have lately grown very brave indeed.
Holy shit. Oh my god, this is like... That sounds like plotline for Pillars 3, if I ever heard it. I've been hearing a voice in my head since I arrived on this island. Could it be my god? I should go. Could it be my god?
I suppose it's not impossible, but the gods typically make themselves known to us in our earliest days, before we have left the comfort of the womb. They are present in our hearts and mind before we even have a notion of I at all. I am sorry. Yours is an unusual case. Tell me, this voice in your head, do you want it to be your god?
It would be a relief to finally know who I am. I want to know I'm not going mad. If it's not my god, I don't know what else it could be. Forget it. It doesn't matter. If it's not my god, I don't know what else it could be.
Other than a symptom of madness, you mean?
Oh, come on, I'm not a watcher.
You do not seem especially troubled. No more than any Kith subject to life's uncertainties. As to what the voice is, if it is unlikely to be a god, I cannot say. It may be a particularly powerful soul attempting to control you, or the echoes of a past life. Perhaps it is the sending of an archmage, or some ancient construct of Engwithan make. Or it may just be the beginnings of the Dream Scourge. Whatever this voice is, I suspect only an expert in souls can say.
Okay, I should go.
Of course. Explore to your heart's content. But please refrain from touching my statue or devices. Go in peace. I will be here if you return.
I feel like I'm going to end up killing this person. Right? Though I hope canonically they live to see Pillars of Eternity 3. Frankly, I hope we all do. What's going up here? Let's see, anything else? I feel like there must be more of these little generators for me to shoot now. Okay. Ooh. Oh, Statue of Aethys, missing splinter of Aethys. Man, this is cool as hell. Got some grog. Sargamis' journal. 2828 Priestu. He is gone, but he is still with me. What form should a reliquary take that is fit to hold the splinter? Were I in high crown still, I would petition the church for ivory, gems, and gold, for this remnant of his holy body is worth all the wealth of the Empire and more. Being as I am sequestered here, I will make do instead with the wealth of the land. Granite from the tallest peaks, clay from the fertile riverbeds, and trunks from the most aged trees. I must work without ceasing until it is done. The memory of my lord cannot endure delay. 2828 Terestu. He is beginning to take shape. I thought at first a sanctuary would be appropriate, a temple within this temple of the godless. But when I prayed over my plans for the building's construction, I received a vision of Aethys' Titan as it existed in its time. A body of strange flesh and bone, hundreds of feet tall, astride the land with the Pantheon at his side, facing down the forces of chaos like 11 colossal ships of the line. What crisis manifested them and inspired them to act? I know not, but I shall remake him as he was, in my own fashion. Tying into what he said, I almost wonder if it was them stamping down the rest of Kith, you know, after they had achieved godhood. Right? If they were getting everyone into shape to begin to worship them, if they were exerting their will upon everyone, subjugating them. 2829 Magiverno. Is complete, but the statue I have made is inert, lifeless, dull. The work of my hands does not dignify the splinter. There is something deficient in it, and in me. I must destroy it and begin again. 2829 Imprima. He is made anew. His effigy is formed from granite, clay, and wood still, but they shelter now a precious Aedyran core. It glimmers even in the low light of this cavern's ceaseless evenings. He brings the dawn to this penumbral place, as the light of his attention once brought to my soul. In the Empire, they celebrate spring dawn today, or they would have, prior to the Saints' War. I wonder, what of him remains in the beyond after his dissolution at Ukaizo? I long to be with him again. 2829 Preprima. What if I did not have to wonder? Maybe it's not fully a disdain for Aethys, right? What if the disdain is born out of being ignored, right? Yeah, he's kind of like, okay, what if Sargamis' whole situation is like he's so obsessed with Aethys and is maybe like angry that Aethys is seemingly ignoring him and isn't like affording him the attention and affection that he feels he is due, right? A feeling of like, you have been made a godlike. You feel as if you have some purpose, and yet you do not know what it is. For 600 plus years, you have not known what it is. You've lived longer than so many other people. You've heard your God speak, but he has never, like, heard you, right? It's like almost a crisis of faith dialed up to like 11. At least that's how it reads to me. Okay. Let's jump over to this. Anything good here? I can go up here. at that. Health potion. An electric lily seed. Okay. It's an electrical hootenanny. Okay. Sure.
Careful, please.
Going over here. Reminder, source fresh lumber. Niall or Niall only seems to be able to source rotten lumber, and the contemptible stuff cannot withstand the damp of this cavern. I must find someone who can fell and hew fresh trees, or my fragile generators will be at the mercy of the Zorups. The little bastards are remarkably curious.
Stop!
Uh-oh.
Don't damage my statue!
He did not like that. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. That's fine. Oh dear. Some other people down there? What if I quick load? How far back will I go? Maybe back too far. Right, should I commit to this? I almost feel like I ought to. You know what? Fuck it, let's do it.
Back on my feet.
Ooh, fuck.
On your right! Nice job! Look right!
Okay. Oh fuck!
That's done.
Hear us. Follow us. We would speak to you.
Last light of day.
Okay?
One-handed melee. Whew, that guy really did not like me fucking around with his shit. Okay. Let's see. What is that? Looks like a sword? Yeah. One-handed. Killing an enemy restores 3% of your max HP. Hits deal 10% bonus fire damage. Okay. The lavish extravagance of this blade belies its wicked lethality. It was crafted for an Aethasian paladin of the Order of Kind Wayfarers as thanks by a blacksmith whose life was saved by the paladin. Rumor has it that it never once did this paladin ever draw last light of the day from its scabbard, settling every conflict through diplomacy. When they finally reached the end of their long life, they were buried, along with this sword, which had yet to draw blood. How and when the weapon made its way to Sargamis's hands is unknown, but from the notches on the blade, it had almost certainly seen use well before that happened. Okay. Sure. Not really something I am keen to use, though. But the fact that it deals some fire damage is really useful. So now we always have a fire damage dealing weapon. Look at the little Aethasian symbol there on the hilt? Is that what that's called? Ooh, that little chime of music right there is very Pillars of Eternity. Okay. I hope it's not canon that this guy dies. Right? Although I did kill him, I hope that is not the canonical way in which this would resolve for any future games. Oops, here we go. Seems like I just need to socket in some other crap here. Okay. Honestly, he was kind of easy. For being 600 something years old. I guess he did say he was pretty damn old. Right, he was feeling kind of feeble in some sense. Well, check this out. Okay. Here, you know what I'm gonna do? Let's get that about there. And then right there, let's get these two things. So now we have more elements at hand. Yeah, there's the last one. Holy shit, what's gonna fucking happen? Ooh, it's blowing up big time. Oh, it's coming to life.
What is burned cannot prosper.
Oh.
Wings to free us, gone to waste.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, we probably should have put that splinter in there first, huh? Yeah, holy fuck. Okay. How about over here? Can I power it up again, even? I don't think so. How do I want to handle this? I do feel like no matter what, I would have ended up fighting Sargamis, right? But would I have been down to do this? Yeah, you know what? Let's quick load here. And then we'll decide what we want to do with the shard once we find it and the expedition team. Right? We may still end up blowing it up, right? Might still end up doing that. Oh my gosh. My quick save didn't go through? Oh, fuck. Okay, okay. Here, let's load this right here. Is this after I blew it up, though? This might be after I had blown it up. We'll check. Let's see. Dawn Treader. With the Oracle dead, the voice in your head sees an opportunity. Speak with it at the Aedyran pillar. Oh, we could have spoken at that pillar. I see. Okay. Well, let's quick load back here. Or not quick load, but autosave load. Which that should be enough in time. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Gotcha. Okay. Well, what do you want?
A statue, a deathless body, Kith building in their own image. It intrigues us, yet it is not finished. Skin without breath. We sense something. Deep in the ruins, essence of the same note. A piece longs to be reunited. Will you look for it?
The splinter? I'll find the missing piece. How will I know what I've found, what I'm looking for? Why do you want to finish this statue? I'd rather keep looking around. Why do you want to finish the statue?
It dreams in colors we have never seen. Would we use it? We cannot know. It must be complete.
How will I know when I found what I'm looking for?
A cloudless sky. You will see. It waits in the heart of the ruins, down until there is only up. Seek it there.
Alright, I'll find it.
We sift through water. What could it be? But hurry. The roots twist, The earth heaves underneath the stone. The eaves cannot hold.
Hey, Envoy. Back with us?
Yeah. Let's go look for that missing piece. Seems like it's separate from the expedition. Oh, maybe not. What does this do? It's barred. Is that a big fast access loop around? Perhaps.
Bridge is out, but that looks like the way to the relic.
Okay, let's see here. Let's get that right there. And just as we had set it up before. Oh. Hold up. Do I not have their weapon? Oh, did I not loot it in this timeline? Okay. Yeah, maybe I hadn't done it yet. Let's back up and over here. Yeah, look at that. I didn't even take it yet. They're still vaporized over here. There we go. Great. And then, let's see. Let's chow down on that roast. Good. And then let's do a quick save. Big lever here. Okay. I don't know if that was a good idea. Sure. Got some purple over this way. Oh, that's the loop around. We had seen that. Okay.
Roots clogging up this tunnel. Almost like reaching for something.
Wow, actually.
I think we can swim through.
Actually made it to where I couldn't hear Marius when I started diving. Okay. Whew, look at all this. Got some reading material here. Notes on Godless Language Translation. This damp tome collects the Oracle's wide-ranging and often contradictory thoughts on the origin and translation of the Godless's written language. His musings range across the page at odd angles at times, clearly carefully considered, and at others dashed off, improvisational, inspired. Arrows loop across the pages to stab at phrases, and dates are circled and underlined with such ferocity the parchment tears. Given the book's length and density, it would appear the Oracle labored over the mysteries of the Godless for several years, before ultimately turning his attention elsewhere. A small sample reads, "The Godless wrote, that much is clear, but their tablets are nevertheless maddeningly rare. What few I find in the ruins appear to have been crushed, and their rooms that look as though they were intended to house great libraries are left utterly bare. And when I do find something of interest, it's rarely intact. The Godless came to these lands centuries ago. Some degradation in their tablets is to be expected. Such is the nature of hand-shaped and fired clay. But they couldn't have been in the living lands. For more than 2,000 years, I feel a mind at work here. Someone, or several someones, must have sought their writing out and destroyed it, which makes the possibility of translating their script only appear ever more remote. The structures of their sentences shift wildly across decades, or else I understand even less of their grammar than I thought. But my God, tell me, what inspires a culture to suddenly shift from subject-object-verb to subject-verb-object, or to case their nouns and then, as if by fiat, to not? I feel that at least a shadow of an answer must lie in the one complete tablet in my possession, and in a word that appears in nearly every fragment I find. In Witten. Okay. What if the Godless and their presence here in the Living Lands are sort of trading on, or not operating under the ideas that Sargamis was just explaining to us, right? What if the godless here are people who refuted the new, fresh Nguithan, like, pantheon, right? They decide we don't want that. You know? And they fled here because in their Titan bodies, right, these newly anointed, self-anointed gods were like searching for them. They were coming to them. Thus, the Living Lands proved to be some sort of refuge or whatever. Sort of as it is today for people who have whatever reason to run away from civilization and society, right? So it's, in that sense, mirroring the past. Clay tablet here. This clay tablet is inscribed with a flowing vertical script in a language you've never seen before. Yul Hesiza, Yezuha Lu Yedez, Rajeda Migali, Hed Saya Payi, and Witten. Kagid Yul Gapa Pubi. Pubi? I like Pubi. Or maybe it's Puby, or Pubi. I like Pubi more. Or Puby. Okay, what have we got around here? I can get up into this. And what if whatever I'm hearing, this voice that is only present here in the Living Lands, is their attempt to create some sort of defense mechanism against the Pantheon, who sought to, like, subjugate them to their own, like, theology, right? Their Pantheon, of course. Oh, look. Yoink. There we go. Did it open? Oh, or I could bust through this. That makes it simple. Okay. There was treasure here, but it's gone now. Oh, no, it's not. It's just open. Nothing that amazing. Bunch of money. Oh, and that opens up the door. I see. Okay. Wow, look at this freaking library. Was this Sargamis's? Ooh, there are some spiderlings here. Okay, let's deal with them.
How'd you do that?
Phew, there we go.
Everybody all right?
The collected annals of Lengrath. Oh my gosh, there is a lot of reading here. Waterlogged book. True stories from the Living Lands. Oh, some loot. Okay. Sure. Can I take some of this? No, I think that's only to drop down. Oh wow, look, there's a gigantic schematic right there too. Okay. Collected Annals of Lengrath. Let's see, are there any that I must read immediately? Okay. Waterlogged book. The writing in this tome is dense and spidery, and it advances across the page at a sprint, as if its author's pen had been enchanted with a spell for celerity. Whatever muse ensorcelled it will never be revealed, however, for the book's fragile pages swiftly disintegrate in your hands. Okay. And we had seen that. The Great Western Stag. Oh, it ceases to light up after I pop it open. Okay. Sure. Nothing is lost. Search for Ukaizo. Annals of the Pargrunen. Wow, we're getting a lot of reading material. On the fire-forged path, the travels of Yark Yilton. Okay. Now, here I need to swap to that fiery sword. Yeah, there we go. Wonder if there's any reason to be busting up these eggs. It's not the first time we've done it. They don't ever seem to yield anything. Okay. Sure, I'm gonna shoot that thing down. Maybe don't stand there, you two. Okay. Let's see. Anything else good here? The Deerwood, Part 5. The Proliferation of Animancy. Okay. Statue Schematic. This drawing details plans for the creation of a large statue powered by essence. The essence is intended to be injected into the statue by an array of animantic devices. Where such a vast store of essence might come from, and what a statue could do with it, is unclear. Okay. Sure. Well, maybe we close out the video here by reading one of those not terribly prescient books that we had just looted. Right? Let me do a quick save here. And then let's look under Documents, Lore. Okay, which one should we go for? Huh. Also got Dawnshore here. Letter to Carlode. Which we did read this. Daily Affirmations, right? Yep, Book of Verses. I believe we had read this too. I think. Okay, let's read History of the Living Lands Part 1. And next time we'll do Part 2. The Living Lands do not exist. But certainly, there is an island. Certainly there are valleys, there are rivers, lakes, and mountains. There are trees and fungi in abundance. Taken together, do these not constitute the Living Lands? I will concede that they constitute the description of a continent, that this continent lies north of the equator, and that this continent is equidistant from Aedyr and Rauatai. I will concede that this continent is real, so long as you and I walk upon it. We call this island the Living Lands, but the Living Lands is merely a descriptor of its attributes. A list of attributes does not, alone, make up a place. I believe that for a place to become real, it must have a name. For a name to be real, it must have a history. History confers meaning, and meaning is given to a name by its namer. But the Living Lands cannot be this island's name, because I have traveled its breadth, climbed its peaks, and delved its countless depths. I have discovered that the Living Lands has no namer at all. Unless the words we use to describe this continent, the Living Lands, were given to us by the godless, unless these words have a meaning only they could comprehend, unless these words have a history only they could know, and I don't know this word, the society, the thisness of this place was lost with them. Ooh, I like that. Okay. You know what? I liked it so much. Let's read the second one as well right now. It was short enough. Oh, this is the third one, actually. Oh, dear. Okay, where's the second one, I wonder? A History of the Living Lands 3. Glossolalia. In the ruins of Ukaizo, the great city of the ancient Huana in the Deadfire, I once found a curious inscription. The inscription was written in 3 languages and arranged in a circle around a small pool of water. 2 of the languages were unknown to me. The first of these scripts was largely runic, rounded, and orderly, and it looked like it was meant to be painted rather than chiseled into stone. It put me to mind of the architecture of Engwith, with its frequent arches and odd conjunctions of angles. The other language branched off one long stem. This one was curious. At first, I thought I was meant to read it left to right, but the characters' shapes didn't have a flow that felt intentional. It wasn't until I tilted my head that I understood I was attempting to read it on its side, that I was instead meant to read it from top to bottom, and likely right to left. Fascinating. I've seen nothing like it in all Eora. The third of the scripts I recognize, it was near ancient Huana, a language I'd studied idly in my youth. I'd been obsessed with its more logographic predecessor, far ancient Huana, for many years. What a pleasure at last to see something I knew. After a few hours of meditation, I recall enough of the alphabet to take a stab at a transcription. Kawingaru o Waturi te katua neki pi nui o ukaizo nakingi o kingi kane no anoa a ngati kua ite ene heno ke aki katinga. Wingaru o Watari, king of Ukaizo, the king of kings. It has the cadence of a dedication. Could this last inscription be the key to deciphering the two other unknown languages? Very fascinating. I wonder how much these ancient cultures, right, were like their overall culture was decided by their relationship to the gods and their pantheons, you know? I'm so curious about that. It feels like we're really delving into a lot of stuff that was set up by and for Pillars 2, you know? Or by Pillars 2 for a Pillars 3. Right, we're sort of delving into a bit of it here. Jesus. Are they just gonna keep getting fucked up here? Oh my gosh. Can we get out of the water for them? Here, come stand over this way. Is Kai still standing in the water? I think they might be fucked. Right? Okay. Well, fuck it. We can at least go over here and pop this open. There we go. Are they good now? Should wear off now. It won't keep chaining. I think. I don't know. It might be bugged. They may just be going buck wild now. Yeah, I think they're maybe like chaining into one another in some hilarious way. Okay, what if I quick save and quick load? Yeah, because I feel like whenever it ticks, it causes that point blank AoE and is refreshing their own debuff on one another. Oh no, that didn't fix it either. Okay, maybe we go to camp real fast? Can I access camp from here? I think so. No, I can't. Alright, well, we're gonna call it here while Kai and Marius are undergoing some sort of wild, shocking situation. Right? Until next time, please take care of each other.